Hashtag Trending would like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers a complete networking stack, wired, wireless, and cellular in one integrated solution that's built for performance and scale. You can find them at meter.com/HTT. Time magazine's Architects of AI leaves out the people who built the field. The fastest growing chatbot is not ChatGPT. And OpenAI finds a 6 times productivity gap between AI power users and everyone else. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Time magazine has named its Person of the Year, and this year it's a group, the so-called Architects of AI. The cover features Sam Altman, Jensen Huang, Lisa Su, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Dario Amodei, Dennis Hassabis, and Fei-Fei Li. It's a strong lineup. But if this is about the architects of modern AI, it actually leaves out most of the people who built the foundations. There's no Geoffrey Hinton, no Ilya Sutskever, no Yashio Bengio, no Yann LeCun. The researchers whose breakthroughs in deep learning made the systems possible are not there. Only Hassabis and Lee come from the core scientific side. The rest are executives, funders, and promoters who shape the business around AI. That work matters, but it's not the same as architecting the science. And that's where the story could go deeper. Progress doesn't depend on who's in the spotlight. The idea that we must move at the speed of hype may ultimately hinder AI development when, and if, the bubble that they've created bursts. We may look back and regret not taking a more responsible path. And that path doesn't depend on promoters, funders, or even corporate visionaries. It depends on the people who understand the math and keep responsibly advancing the science, even when the cameras aren't pointed their way. ZDNet and TechCrunch are reporting a shift in the chatbot race. Even though ChatGPT still dominates public attention, it's no longer the fastest growing AI assistant. That title now goes to Google's Gemini. According to TechCrunch, using Sensor Tower data, Gemini's global monthly active users grew by about 30% over the fall of 2025. In the same period, ChatGPT grew about 6%, although it still has a much larger footprint, roughly 810 million monthly active users worldwide. But Gemini is accelerating faster. And at the same time, ChatGPT remains the most widely adopted app in one of the most competitive ecosystems in the world. TechCrunch reports that ChatGPT was the #1 free iPhone app in the United States in 2025. That tells us it's still the model most people seek out directly, while Gemini's growth could be fueled by its presence across Android, Chrome, YouTube, and even Google Workspace. And that might be the real lesson of this phase of the AI race. Distribution is starting to matter as much as capability. ChatGPT does grow through choice. Gemini grows because it's everywhere. And if Gemini does end up triumphant after its slower start, business schools may end up teaching a very modern version of the tortoise and the hare. A new report from OpenAI, covered by VentureBeat, shows a widening divide inside today's workplaces. Workers who use AI deeply and consistently are now 6 times more productive than typical users. It's becoming a great divide, one that might determine who advances in an AI-driven workplace and who risks getting left behind. OpenAI's numbers show how this gap forms. Among people who have logged into ChatGPT in the past 30 days, 19% have never tried data analysis. 14% have never used reasoning, and 12% have never used search. These are the capabilities that OpenAI highlights as transformational for knowledge work, and yet a large share of users never touch them. Conversely, among daily users, the pattern reverses. Only 3% of daily users have never used data analysis, and just 1% have skipped reasoning or search. This divide isn't about access, it's about habit and depth of engagement. And the productivity differences are real. VentureBeat reports that workers who use AI across 7 or more task types, writing, analysis, coding, translation, image generation, and others, save 5 times more time than those who use AI for only 4 task types. Employees who save more than 10 hours a week consume 8 times more AI credits than workers who see no time saving at all. Gains are concentrated among those who push the tool the furthest. The famous MIT adoption study adds another layer. Only 40% of companies have official AI subscriptions, but employees in more than 90% of companies use personal AI tools for work. This shadow AI often produces better results because it grows from what workers actually need, not from slow-moving corporate programs. And OpenAI puts this in perspective. It says it ships a major new capability roughly every 3 days, far faster than most organizations can absorb. And this is creating a sink or swim environment, and that mentality has a cost. Companies can't expect workers to keep up on their own. A relatively small group of people already produces a disproportionate share of value in most organizations, and widening that group through training may deliver more return than any single model upgrade. And we should note that all this data comes from OpenAI, a company that has a clear interest in encouraging wider adoption. But at the same time, they have usage visibility at a scale no one else does, so the findings are worth examining carefully. The real question is whether organizations have the tools to analyze their own patterns with that same depth. Where could we get a tool that would help us do that type of analysis in our organizations? And that's our show. Once again, we'd like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you the podcast. Meter delivers full-stack networking infrastructure, wired, wireless, and cellular to leading enterprises. And working with their partners, Meter designs, deploys, and manages everything required to get performant, reliable, and secure connectivity in a space. They design the hardware, the firmware, build the software, manage deployments, and run support. It's a single integrated solution that scales from branch offices to warehouses to large campuses, all the way up to data centers. Book a demo at meter.com/HTT. That's meter.com/HTT. I'm your host, Jim Love. We've got a great AI show for you this week. We've got a great show this weekend with more discussion about AI from our Project Synapse group. But if you can't make that, we'll see you Monday morning. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a fabulous Friday.